Welcome to EGO NetCast. I am Martin Lindeskog. This is a live session recording for episode 129 of EGO NetCast. And today I'm doing a tribute, homage, or shout out to musicians out there with the title 50 million Frenchmen can't be wrong. And that's a song by Sophie Tucker in 1927. And soon I will remove my shades here, sunglasses. It's a shout out to James Knights of Knights, the band that I interviewed on my podcast, and I watched a couple of concerts with. And he often uses a glove, a black leather glove, when he's performing, and he has his shades. So welcome here, and I will start out and see it should be then now distributed to LinkedIn and to YouTube and also Facebook, but it's on Facebook, it's setting automatically on private, so I will change that now to sec- so now it's saying only me for some reason, but I will put it public and then do a screenshot and then so now, and I will check here also at the same time if it's on YouTube. We recommend stopping recording before hanging up the call, it says now. So I'll click on my channel. And here it's saying live. So click on live tab. So that's good. And lastly, it's on LinkedIn here. So bear with me here for a second. This is multitasking. And there it's saying sending live. And here it's on LinkedIn also. So good. And on the screen here, I should be able to see if I get any comments. It's saying live on air, YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. And the title again, 50 million Frenchmen can't be wrong. And philosophically speaking, it's like this, what's it called? Ad populus or something like that in Latin, that you say that the big population or majority can't be wrong. But that's wrong. They could be wrong. But it's a funny song here, as I said, with Sophie Tucker from 1927. So I include that in the show notes and the Happy Music Radio that I recommend you to check out on 78, or how do you say, rounds per minute. And the old, not vinyl, it's stone cake, we say in Swedish. So old music. So Happy Music Radio or Radio Dismuk, I recommend you to check out. And I did this as a reference here. So like this, a reference to an article that Benjamin Bellamy, excuse me for the pronunciation, post in a French podcasting magazine called Podcasting, I think. And they had an English version of it called the Podfather 2.0, and in then parentheses it said the pioneers strike back, and it's then an interview with Adam Curry, the Podfather, and the Podsage Dave Jones, talking about the Podcasting 2.0 initiative, the value from value model, namespace, tags, and the development of protecting and ensure that the RSS feed is stable, safe, and also how you could extend it and develop it over time thanks to new podcast apps. So go and check out new podcast apps or podcastapps.com and check out the different apps there. I have recently done a review of 15 different podcast apps and applications out there on Tea Party Media podcast. So I did, and I will include that in the show notes and create clips on that. I did 2 boostograms to a podcasting 2.0 podcast. One was with 7076, that's a symbolic number for the founding fathers and the liberty boost of the founding of America, the United States of America in 1776. And then I did another one with boostergram 2112, and that's the reference to the Rush album 2112 boost. So in a few days, next week, if everything goes according to plan, I will do a episode 130 with a guest, musician, and artist, singer, and it's Jonathan Dahl. Thanks, Jonathan, for connecting me with this artist. We will do a recording there and talk about her latest single and her career as a musician and other things. So that will be fun. And I've done now, I think it's the 10th interview with artists. And I have that also. I will include that in the show notes on Bandcamp and my username Lyceum, where you could see the links and the episodes number to the different interviews with artists. And again, the first one was with James Knights of Knights with this $ Knights with an S with a $ at the end. So, so I think that's for now, and I will do also talking about this inspiration about music. I recently did episode 2 of Hot and Spicy Review podcast, talking about hot sauces and spicy food and dishes and this culture things and historical spice trade and so on. And I will announce a new co-host there in the near future. So where I talk in that episode about the jingle and the bumper created by Jim Johnson of J Tunes Productions and the inspiration that I got from the TV series Death in Paradise and the type of music there that fitting to a hot and spicy podcast. So now I see also I have here on the caption on the screen, and hopefully you will see that also on YouTube and LinkedIn and Facebook also. So I'll see if it saves then also for the recording somehow. So that will be interesting to check out. And I'm again using this Boomcaster for this recording and this live session. What more? This is to get in the groove again into the new year. So I have created new weekly plan or weekly review, and my co-host Johan Gustafsson of Produktivitet, tea podcast about tea, and Pen Meets Paper. He sent me some videos and links to videos of a guy called Carl Pullein, I think it's pronounced, in Holland or Netherlands. And he has a weekly review or matrix similar to the Eisenhower matrix, how to get things done and plan ahead. And today it's Sunday, so I will do that before I go to bed. Brew, steep a cup of tea, and then plan for next week. And here is this model 1927 note cards. I will include that also in the show notes. This episode I will do the editing and post-production, and I will publish it during next week before the recording that I'm doing with this artist. So I say year 2023, and then at the top here, see if you could see that it's no rose, if you pronounce that right, in Farsi, and that's this new year. And I think you jump over fire and so on, if that's correct. But celebrating the new year, and that's March 20. So that will be week 12 when I start implementing this new review and planning ahead, and also content creation. It's like cracking the content creation code, so to speak. And that's will be talked more about, and with blog posts, with newsletter, issues of my bulletin, Lyceum bulletin, and live streaming, etc. on teaparty.media that I'm then planning to launch in this new Persian year in around March 20th, and in the spring forward. So I start out here on Monday. So this is called the lift framework. So there is Instagram first, like an open thread, take a picture of that, and I will take a picture of a hot and spicy thing, a snack that is hot chili pepper, and get reaction there and see what you think about chili pepper and your thoughts about that. And on Tuesday, I have written DT. Oops, DT, and that's standing for Digital Town Hall, and that's like a community place, a town square for, and I have one for Tea Party Media. I have one for the Secular Foxhole with my co-host Blair, one with stationery. So, and then one for what more the tea productivity and tea. So, and then planning to do one for hot sauces and spicy dishes, etc. for hot and spicy review. So doing like a beginning of a week post on the on your community, on your digital town hall, on Heartland, powered by Heartland. And then on Tuesday, it's doing a blog, and that's belonging to the BNP toolbox. So B for blogging, N for newsletter, and P for podcasting. And these are hubs or center that you could control by yourself. Now I'm distributing to Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. And it's nice places, but it's like often walled gardens, so you can't control that themselves. You could become, you know, silenced. You could be the algorithm. Will it be shown or not? You could be deplatformed. All kind of different things. But it's also nice and neat to distribute the different satellites, and you could continue a conversation out there. But you want often to get the visitors, the readers, the listeners to interact with you on your own home turf and your own safe haven, your own place. And that could be also this digital town hall that is that you could also be in charge of. Then on Wednesday and then on Tuesday, a blog around 3 o'clock, I will have something called TTT, and that's inspired by Karin Coach, my co-host of Viktigt på riktigt podcast in Swedish, important for real. She has a live sending on her website, karincoach.se, at noon, 12 during the day here, Central European time. And she says T3, it's like 12, 10 minutes and three things. I have tried that several times to do this Tuesday tech with tea. Cheers. So then I will do then Tuesday tech at 3 o'clock, 3 p.m. Central European time, and then try to do three things again to get that in 10 minutes. But I'm thinking I had one podcast with Lotta Gerges Aston. We had we used a service called Audio Boom or Boom or Audio, and we did try 10 minutes free things like it was like a crowdfunding campaign, some digital tool, and then also off grid or being meditating and so on. So that was in 10 minutes time. So that was fun to do. So I will try to do that like a technical tool or social media platform. And my plan is to do like what I'm using today, what I have used in the past, and what I'm thinking of using in the future. Could be one thing, for example. And that I will do on Easy Live, a service called Easy Live, and it's on their site there and server and so on, but it will be in the future on my site teaparty.media. So you will go and see when it's live. It will be shown on the page, and then you could also record videos about the content on your website. So then on Wednesday it's LinkedIn, and then Wednesday wrap. You could say how is your business week going so far, and that also could do that for on your digital town hall that you post something how's things going. Wednesday wrapping things up the midweek or Mittwoch wash in German, and then on Thursday is like Thursday throwback on Facebook. You could post a memory. They are often very good at that, saying that remember 1 year ago this happened on your stream. Of course, this is in order to be more active. That's one thing with this algorithm. It's popping up these memories in the timeline, so you could reuse it or comment on it and so on. And then in the evening, around maybe 9 p.m. Central European time, I'm thinking of doing this on Thursday. It's Tor's dog in Swedish, like the god, Norse god Thor, and his hammer ventilating things. And then I have a acronym there called SIT. So is it a storm in a teapot or in a tea mug? That's like, is it talking about, all the commotions? Is it really worth it, or is it really important to talk about? So it could be this thing that you could think about, tinker about, do some introspection. So then also ventilate. So on on Thursdays, and then on Friday, follow Friday. Thanks, G. It's Friday. Thanks. Yeah, whatever. That the restaurant chain. Thank God it's Friday. Maybe it is, or maybe it's something else. And there, it's also on Twitter. Like you could do follow Friday, the hashtag FF or follow Friday. And also on this card, I have other like tweets on Tuesday around 6 p.m. Central European time, and on Wednesday it's Tip Talk on Biz Sugar at 8, I think, or sometime 9. And on Tuesday, also at 9 a.m. Central European time, it's Heartland Nation. And then on Friday, it's Heartland office hours hangout at 9 a.m. And then on Saturday, it's podcast, and then it could be like this hot and spicy review, publishing an episode. It could be High Five for Hemp. It could be Teapot Media. It could be this one, EGO NetCast, etc., etc., etc. As I said, I'm active and involved in plenty of podcasts out there, and more will come. So then on Saturday also, it's around, you could say, in the afternoon, or when do you, Adam, think of when do you have siesta? So it will be Saturn event, Saturn siesta. And Saturn is like the short for Satoshis. So Saturn, it's also the, planet. So Saturn, and it's also standing for Saturday. So then it will be an event that will be on Heartland, that now you could create an event and doing live on your digital town hall in your community. So you could then continue the conversation after the live event and before the live event, and get your members on the community and also external coming into your on your platform. So that's a great one to test out. And then on Sunday, there will be some reflections, thoughts, introspection, insights, and that enlightenment, hopefully. And that's the newsletter. And then at the end of the day, in the evening before I go to bed, I will have a note to self and do this weekly review planning for next week, and having a cup of tea, brewing something, steeping something, doing a, could say, a ritual or ceremony, and doing this practice, maybe writing something, handwriting on a notebook, and so on. And then the words at the end here for the year is coin age, or coin, like a silver coin, and coinage, to create, play with words and concepts and so on. And then trade, voluntarily exchange between individuals, and also trading, like financial trading, commodity trading, currency trading. And then victory, or victories, small victories every day, fall forward. So with that, I will say cheerio and talk to you soon again.